Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. So first of all, apologies I've not done one of these videos in about a week, but I have been really busy with stuff lately, but I'll be getting them back onto track now hopefully. So we are starting today's episode out by putting in a loan offer for Adam Reach, as I want to keep this series as realistic as possible, and obviously we have signed him on loan in real life. As you can see there, we do get the deal accepted in the end, which is fantastic. He'll now give us a few more options for formations we can now play, as we do have another winger to play there. So I think that will be a good thing for the squad, and I'm always looking to make this series as realistic as possible, so Adam Reach will be a good signing. So going into the first game of today's episode, guys, we are against MK Dons. As you can see there, Bailey Wright is back. I decided to put him on the bench as he's not 100% fit yet, but he is getting there. So going into the first game of the season now, guys, it's taken a while for us to get here with all the preseason tournament stuff, but we are here now against MK Dons, and this is a game that I was definitely looking to win. I was thinking this game is a fantastic game to play on the first day of the season because it's not too much of a challenge, if that makes sense. So straight away we get off to a fantastic start here. We do go on a bit of a move here, a bit of a counter-attacking move. As you can see there, we have 2v2 here, a bit of sloppy play from them leads to a massive mistake, which leads Bradley Dack through on goal, who puts it into the back of the net. On his debut, Bradley Dack for Preston North End runs to the camera, and is it me or does he look just like Andrea Pirlo on this game? He just looks absolutely like him, but some horrific defending from the MK Dons lads there, absolutely atrocious, leads to Bradley Dack getting through on goal, and he slots his goal away absolutely superbly. Past Martin there, into the corner of the net. Nothing that keeper could do about that. And it was a fantastic finish from Bradley Dack, and he's definitely going to be a goal-scoring centre mid this season. That's one of the reasons I brought him in. He's definitely a goal-scoring centre mid, so he will definitely be a big player for us this season. But after that, we did then get very lucky with this. If you watch here, Joe Garner absolutely clatters into one of their players. We all know in real life Joe Garner currently has a 3-game suspension, and honestly I was so relieved when the referee got out a yellow card here. I was thinking for certain that this would be a red card, but in the end I've noticed that from my experience so far in this game, the referees have been pretty lenient with me so far, and this here is an absolutely horrific challenge from Garner. Nowhere near the ball, a 2-footed challenge. How that wasn't a red card I will never know, but Joe Garner definitely got away with one there and only got a yellow card. We're going to have to watch out for that in this series. He's going to have to be a lot more careful in the next episodes coming up. But then into the second half now, we have a fantastic move here. Bit of nice play yet again, and the ball finally falls to Beckford, who gets it past the keeper and makes it 2-0 to the North End boys. Another fantastically worked goal from the Preston boys, and that's the sort of football we're looking to play this season. Keep it nice on the ground. As you can see here, players, everyone has an understanding of each other in this squad, and it was nice to see. And that finish from Beckford, carrying his pre-season form into the season. The goalkeeper definitely should have done better there. It wasn't actually the best finish from Beckford, to be honest. It was straight out the keeper, but still, nevertheless, it did manage to beat him in the end. So we have absolutely no complaints about that. And Beckford is now up and running for this season in terms of his goal tally, which is always a good thing to see. But MK do have their chances here. As you can see there, they just managed to miss. I'm not actually sure how they did miss that, but Pickford, I think this season will be a big player, but there he was looking very shaky, nowhere near that Pickford, and he was caught in two minds there, really. But MK Dons did keep persisting forward. There was just a massive momentum shift in this game, and as you can see there, they put another good chance wide. And we have to watch it, because in real life, Preston have seen a lot of chances and games slip away from us when we're in front, and they've had two massive opportunities there where they could have got something. But in the final few minutes of the match here, we do go on another fantastic passing move here. Just everyone knows each other's game. It's just nice to see it. But Gallagher with a fantastic ball into Stevie May, who manages to head it into the back of the net. What a fantastic goal it was from Stevie May, who gets a goal on his debut, and that's all we want to see. And as you can see there, so Bradley Dack and Stevie May both have debut goals. That is absolutely massive for us in this series. A fantastically worked goal here. It was actually Cunningham with the cross, not Gallagher. Cunningham with the ball in, and a fantastic header from Stevie May to beat the goalkeeper. And Stevie May obviously hasn't got a goal yet for Preston in real life, but on this career mode, he's already up and running with a fantastic header there and celebrates in front of the camera. It really was the perfect start for us, as we were keeping the clean sheet. We looked pretty solid at the back, and going forward, we were just scoring tons of goals, which is just what we want to see from this series. And in in the end, obviously, we were going to hang on to this victory. We wouldn't let that slip, and it did finish 3-0 in the end. So a fantastic result for us on the opening day of the championship. Honestly, nothing more that we could have wished for. As you can see there, Bradley Dack, the number 18 shirt is what I've decided to give him. And honestly, everyone has just fit in really well to this team, and it shows there's a lot of promise for this season, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here, what the prospects possibly are for this season. So then next up in our fixture list, we do have a cup game against Mansfield. So I wasn't really fancying playing this game, so I was torn between playing my second team or my third team. But in the end, I decided to go with my third team. I thought I'll give some of the younger lads a go in this match, and I'll see what they can do, whether they can deliver. As you know, it's a pretty strong squad. We've got players like Chris Kirkland in there, who's of course capable of being a first team player this season. Alan Brown, Josh Brownhill, Will Keane, and Jordan Hugel up front. So I was pretty positive, and especially since we were playing at home, I was pretty confident going into this match, despite playing such a weakened team from the MK match. But going into this match, as you can see there, Mansfield actually took the lead here in the first half. Not good news for us at all, but you know, I was still pretty confident that we would eventually get a goal back with, you know, the strike partnership we have there, Keane and Hugel. I was pretty confident, but as the game went on, it just got ever more unlikely and unlikely until finally it did go full time, and we did actually lose that match to Mansfield. Not too big of a blow, if I'm honest, losing to Mansfield in the cup, as I'm not, you know, that bothered about the cup really this season. But I do then decide to go ahead and carry on with the player training. As you can see there, Jordan Hugel going up by a rating there, and it's always positive to see. So going into the next game, guys, I decided to go for this team for the match. As you can see, Bailey Wright is back in the starting 11, which is fantastic. And I do actually decide to leave Joe Garner on the bench and put the two goal scorers up front together. And for this match, I have turned it up to world class, as I thought that the MK match was perhaps a bit easier than it should have been really. But so I just did decide to play on world class for this match, and honestly, it got off to an absolutely awful start to us. Reeder Johnson here with just an awful tackle, and you'll see in this match he has an absolute nightmare, but he does pick up a yellow card for that, which is not what we want to see, and it was just a mistimed challenge. It was definitely a penalty, and you know, so early on in the match, we're only in the first, you know, we've not even got to the first 20 minutes yet, so early on in the match to have such a blow like this, it was an awful challenge. And honestly, he was left exposed there, perhaps by Cunningham, who wasn't helping him out. He is playing, you know, rather exposed on that left-hand side, but nevertheless, it was a penalty which he had given away, and Pickford now was called upon to save the penalty. Would he save it? It's against Wellington Silva, the player on loan from Arsenal, and he chips it down the middle, the ultimate cheek from him. Pickford dives out of the way, and it was very disappointing, but that did mean that Bolton took the early lead in this. I guess it's sort of a Lancashire derby. It's not really. Preston and Bolton aren't really that fierce rivals, but I guess it's sort of a local derby. But then we do manage to come up with a fantastic response here. Fantastic balls played in, and Beckford manages to fire it into the back of the net against his former club, of course, who let him go to Preston last season on loan and then finally released him so we could buy him. Jermaine Beckford comes back to haunt Bolton, and this is just what we wanted to see. It was a fantastic cross the ball field play there, and I think that was Stevie May who headed the ball down into Jermaine Beckford, who was able to finish there past Ben Amos. A fantastic finish in the end from Jermaine Beckford, just what we want to see, and he has got off to an absolutely blinding start to this season. 2 matches, 2 goals. He had a great pre-season as well, so Beckford this season, if he can stay injury-free, will be absolutely massive for us climbing up in the table. But that didn't mean that it was 1-1, so we were back in this game now, and that meant that we could push on maybe. So going into another highlight here, Bolton have a free kick. They managed to put an absolute worldie of a ball in, and it manages to trickle past our defence and is headed in past Pickford. Really disappointing yet again, and it's disappointing to consider, you know, this type of goal. It just takes no skill to score. It's just a big lump up front, and their players beating our header in the air. You know, it's no skill to it. It's not like they've outplayed us or anything like that. It's just they've got a big target man up there. Pickford, I'm definitely asking questions of him there. Disappointed with him, and I think that was Tom Clark whose man managed to get away and score the goal there. So asking questions of them too, and I'll definitely be watching out for them. But a poor overall goal to concede, I suppose, from every possible angle we can look at it really. But we don't have the tallest of centre backs. But here, what on earth is Reeder Johnson doing? I'm not sure. His man manages to skip past him and then fire it in to the near post, past Pickford, and Pickford getting beat at his near post. Not sure quite what he's doing here, but Reeder Johnson has an absolute... He just has another nightmare here with his man getting away from him, and he manages to put it into the bottom corner past Pickford. At his near post, Pickford had an absolute shocker in this game, which is really disappointing to see, as in real life, Pickford has been our standout player so far this season. So to consider that he's had such a poor start to the season in this game is really sad to see, I suppose. And so going into the second half now, Bolton continued there with their dominance here, with a ball played out to their left-hand side. Their player looks up, puts a fantastic ball into the box, and they managed to head it in yet again. And it was Reeder Johnson this time who was beaten in the air. And just disappointing, because Reeder Johnson, he's not a small player. I think he's about 6'2", 6'3". He's a man mountain of a player, and he was so easily out-jumped here. I could perhaps understand the Tom Clark one being out-jumped, as he's only 5'11" or something like that. But there's just no commitment here from Johnson at all to win the ball, and nothing Pickford could do about that one that time. And it was a fantastic header past him, and that meant that it was 4-1 to Bolton. Perhaps I'm not ready for world class on this game yet, but it was just so disappointing to see, and so demoralising for us as well, as we got back into the game at 1-1. But that in the end was how that match finished. A really disappointing end to this match, and considering the fantastic start we got to the season as well, beating MK 3-0, this game was a massive step back for us. But I think it got me to look at perhaps I need to play with maybe a bit more defensive minded in the midfield, perhaps not play Bradley Dack and Daniel Johnson alongside each other, as they're quite attacking players maybe, but I'm not sure. Leave in the comments down below what you think my current strongest starting 11 is. So continuing with the player training with the youngsters this season, definitely want to keep these guys growing, and perhaps even Jordan Hugill, I've got plans of maybe bringing him into the first team, as he's been so good in real life. But that will wrap it up for this first episode, guys. In the next episode, here are the games we will be playing. We will be playing against Bristol, Fulham and Charlton to hopefully bounce back against Bolton. But it does actually leave us in 8th in the championship table, so not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And I will now leave you guys with the squad report to play out, so you can see how players are doing, how many goals and assists they've got so far, and how many ratings they've grown by. So that will wrap it up for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like. Also, subscribe if you are new, it really does help me out. And yeah, like I say, leave a like if you're enjoying this series. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.
Comes the music. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom.